Hello guys, BissQT here. Welcome back to my channel. This is a special one. Ladies and gentlemen, put your seatbelt on, get ready. We're about to take off. I'm an ex-flight attendant. so this would be actually quite great. We are checking George Carlin with airline announcements. Now, as an ex-flight attendant, I actually might have something to say here. I do hope you guys enjoyed the reaction. I hope I enjoyed a bit. I like George Carlin quite a lot. This is my third reaction from him. You can find the other two on the channel already. Thank you everybody for watching. Thank you everybody for supporting the channel. Thank you everybody for being so amazing. And of course, putting so many nice suggestions in the comment section from different stand-up for different types of videos, from curiosities to educational to whatever it is out there. I only take recommendation from the comment section below, so if you think it's good, write it down. But that's it for the intro. I'm gonna go here to the reaction corner, and if you guys are ready, I'm ready. Let's go! Let's see.
Something else we have in common, flying on the airlines. Flying on the airlines and listening to the airlines announcements.
Okay.
And trying to pretend to ourselves that that's the way the English language ought to be spoken. Doesn't sound that way to me. Whole thing starts when you get to the gate. First announcement. We would like to begin the boarding process. Extra word, process. Not necessary. Boarding is enough. We'd like to begin the boarding. Simple. Tells the story. People add extra words when they want things to sound more important than they really
Fancy.
are. Boarding process. Sounds important. It isn't. It's just a bunch of people getting on an airplane. People like to sound important. Weathermen on television talk about shower activity. Sounds more important than showers. I even heard one guy on CNN talk about a rain event. Swear to God, he said, Louisiana's expecting a rain event. I thought, holy shit, I hope I can get tickets to that. Emergency situation. News people like to say, police have responded to an emergency situation. No, they haven't. They've responded to an emergency. We know it's a situation. Everything is a situation. Anyway, as part of this boarding process, they say, we would like to pre-board. Well, what exactly is that?
It means if you have money, you go first.
You get on before you get on?
No, it means... I mean, it's funny when he says, like, what does it mean to pre-board? It means there is a room where you are pre-boarded and you can wait in. So when the boarding is ready, you just go. So basically, how can I explain this for everyone that doesn't know? Oh, I have an idea which kind of works. Let's just say you have a horde of sheeps and you want to let the sheeps to go out to the pasture. So before you do that, you have a room where you put all of the sheeps. So once you open the doors, all of the sheeps can go can go very fast. That's how it will work. That's it. I hope it helps.
That's another complaint of mine. Too much use of this prefix pre. It's all over the language now. Pre this, pre that. Place the turkey in a preheated oven. It's ridiculous. There are only two states an oven can possibly exist in, heated or unheated. Preheated is a meaningless fucking term. It's like pre-recorded. This program was pre-recorded. Well, of course it was pre-recorded. When else are you going to record it? Afterwards? That's the whole principle of recording, to do it beforehand.
I mean, they want me this
really
live. He's speaking at stuff, but I mean, he's not wrong.
Pre-planned, pre-screened. You know what I tell these people? Pre-suck my genital situation. And they seem to understand what I'm talking about. Anyway, as part of this pre-boarding, they say, we would like to pre-board those passengers traveling with small children. Well, what about those passengers traveling with large children? Suppose you have a 2-year-old with a pituitary disorder.
You're
You know, a 6-foot infant with an oversized head. The kind of kid you see in the National Enquirer all the time. Actually, with a kid like that, I think you're better off checking him right in with your luggage at the curb, don't you? Well, they like it under there. It's dark. They're used to that. About this time, someone is telling you to get on the plane. Get on the plane, get on the plane. I say, fuck you, I'm getting in the plane. Let Evel Knievel get on the plane.
Ooh, why
I'll
on
be
the
in here
plane?
with you folks in uniform. There seems to be less wind in here.
Yeah. English question, because I'm clearly not native, right? Why is it on the plane, not in the plane? Because theoretically, we're not going on top of the plane, we're going inside of the plane. Question mark, let me know.
They might tell you you're on a non-stop flight.
No.
I don't think I care for that. No, I insist that my flights stop. Preferably at an airport. It's those sudden, unscheduled cornfield and housing development
means
stops seem to interrupt the flow of my day.
I can definitely see how these are a bit
Here's
confusion.
one they just made up. Near miss. When 2 planes almost collide, they call it a near miss. It's a near hit. A collision is a near miss. Look, they nearly missed. Yes, but not quite. They might tell you your flight has been delayed because of a change of equipment. Broken plane. And telling me to put my seat back forward. Well, I don't bend that way. If I could put my seat back forward, I'd be in porno movies. Then they mentioned carry-on luggage. First time I heard carry-on, I thought they were going to bring a dead deer on board. I thought, what the hell do they need with that? Don't they have the little TV dinners anymore? Then I thought, carry on, there's going to be a party. People are going to be carrying on the plane. Well, I don't care for that. I like a serious attitude on the plane, especially on the flight deck, which is the latest euphemism for cockpit.
Yeah, they
Can't
changed
imagine why they
it.
wouldn't want to use a lovely word like cockpit, can you?
I have a little story. When I did my flight attendant course, because you actually have to do a course, you have first aid, you have emergencies and a lot of drills. It's not just about being in the air and giving peanuts and cola zeros, right? It's quite a lot of stuff. When I first interacted with the word cockpit, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna call that flight deck. So I can understand why they changed it, why they brought flight deck as a substitute for cockpit. I can see it, okay? I can definitely see it.
Can't imagine why they wouldn't want to use a lovely word like cockpit, can you? Especially with all those stewardesses going in and out of it all the time. There's a word that's changed, stewardess. First it was
Flight
hostess,
attendant.
then stewardess, now it's flight attendant. You know what I call her? The lady on the plane. Sometimes it's a man on the plane now. That's good equality. I'm all in favor of that. Occasionally, they actually refer to these people as uniformed crew members. Uniformed. As opposed to that guy sitting next to you in the Grateful Dead t-shirt and the fuck you hat. Who's working on his 9th little bottle of Kahlua, I might add.
Kahlua is great. Good for him. Good taste.
As soon as they close the door to the aircraft, that's when they begin the safety lecture.
Demonstration.
I love the safety lecture.
His safety
This is my favorite part of the
demonstration.
plane ride. I listen very carefully to the safety lecture, especially that part where they teach us how to use the seat belt.
So if he would be alive right now, he would have a second point to add here with the words that change. It's not a safety lecture. It's a safety demonstration, a safety demo. You see, guys? You see?
Especially that part where they teach us how to use the seatbelt. Imagine this. Here we are, a plane full of grown human beings, many of us partially educated, and they're actually taking time out to describe the intricate workings of a belt buckle. Place the small metal flap into the buckle. Well, I asked for clarification at that point. Pardon me, over here, please. Thank you very much. Did I hear you correctly? Did you say place the small metal flap into the buckle, or place the buckle over and around the small metal flap? I am a simple man and do not possess an engineering degree, nor am I mechanically inclined. Sorry to have taken up so much of your time. Please continue with the wonderful safety lecture. Seatbelts, high-tech shit. The next
He would be surprised. He would be surprised. But as an ex-flight attendant, guys, the stupid questions I used to receive, I remember now, I mean, it was not really a question, but I remember now one incident. No, actually, I remember two incidents. I remember one incident. I was flying to Naples in Italy, and we were like waiting for the aircraft to depart. There was a slot, which means we had to wait for our turn to basically depart. And one passenger calls. I went there. Yeah, sir, what's up? I didn't say what's up, but for the explanation to go faster, right? And he's like, sorry, can I please open these overhead windows because it's so hot in here? And he was already with like the transparent cover that was above the emergency exit in the middle, and he was already like with that in his hand, ready to open the damn freaking window, the emergency door in the middle. So I feel like a lot of people don't understand that we repeat the same thing like a freaking broken record for a reason. I had another one that was asking me, we were like during cruise, and a passenger came to me and said, if he attempts to open the door at the overwing, will the door actually open? So, I mean, I understand they are curiosities, and I'm never gonna be shaming someone for asking stuff like this, because it's better to know than die ignorant. But some of the stuff are really, like he said, but we were making fun of this. A lot of people don't really understand how it works. So the question is, no, you cannot actually open the doors. Even if you try, the pressure from outside and inside would not let you open the doors mid-flight, okay? So let me make it clear. But it's really fun to listen to this bit by George Carlin and kind of see where he's coming from. He does nitpick quite a lot of phrases, English phrases, and I'm quite happy that my English is at the level where I can understand most of them, and it's good. It's good. I think maybe someone that their English is not as good probably wouldn't understand all of the jokes here.
Seatbelts, high-tech shit. The next thing they do, they tell you to locate your nearest emergency exit. I do this immediately.
You should.
I locate my nearest emergency exit, and then I plan my route. You have to plan your route. It's not always a straight line, is it? Sometimes there's a really big fat fuck sitting right in front of you. Well, you know you'll never get over him. I look around for women and children, midgets and dwarfs, cripples, war widows, paralyzed veterans, people with broken legs, anyone who looks like they can't move too well. The emotionally disturbed come in very handy at a time like this. You may have to go out of your way to find these people, but you'll get out of the plane a lot goddamn quicker, believe me. I say, let's see. I'll go.
Sorry for pausing, but another thing which I find funny that he's mentioning is like the crippled or the disabled or, anything like this. Actually, the system and ourselves, I'm not a flight attendant anymore, but you know what I mean. We will always, and I mean always, put them at the window. like they will never sit in the aisle. This is the reason. In case of an emergency, we do not want anyone that could delay or hinder the evacuation sitting on the aisle. So of course, as well, if you have like a broken leg or a broken arm, you will never be allowed to sit in the emergency exits. In case you need to assist, you won't be able to, and legally we are not allowed to let you sit there. So I am sorry if you broke your leg skiing in Switzerland and you're flying back home, but you won't be able to sit in the emergency exit where there is a tiny bit more space because you have a broken leg. So we're sorry for that. But I mean, what he says is funny, but because I know why, they will always be at the window side in the seat.
Around the fat fuck, step on the widow's head, push those children out of the way, knock down the paralyzed midget, and get out of the plane where I can help others.
Sorry guys, I'm getting sick as well.
I can be of no help to anyone if I'm lying unconscious in the aisle with some big cocksucker standing on my neck. I must get out of the plane, go to a nearby farmhouse, have a Dr. Pepper, and call the police. The safety lecture continues. In the unlikely event, this is a very suspect phrase, especially coming as it does from an industry that is willing to lie about arrival and departure times. In the unlikely event of a sudden change in cabin pressure, roof flies off. No. An oxygen mask will drop down in front of you. Place the mask over your face and breathe normally. Well, I have no problem with that. I always breathe normally when I'm in a 600-mile-an-hour uncontrolled vertical dive. I also shit normally. Right in my pants!
Aviation came a long
They tell
way.
you to adjust your oxygen mask before helping your child with his.
Yes.
I did not need to be told that. In fact, I'm probably going to be too busy screaming to help him at all. This will be a good time for him to learn self-reliance.
Everyone for
Program
themselves.
his fucking VCR. He can goddamn jolly well learn to adjust an oxygen mask. Fairly simple thing, just a little rubber band in the back is all it is. Not nearly as complicated as, say, for instance, a seatbelt. The safety lecture continues. In the unlikely event of a water landing.
A ditching.
Well, what exactly is a water landing?
The Hudson River
Am I
incident.
mistaken, or does this sound somewhat similar to crashing into the ocean?
You can land the plane, but it's super difficult,
Your
especially
seat
if
cushion
there are
can
waves.
be used as a flotation device. My seat cushion? Imagine that. Just what I need. To float around the North Atlantic for several days, clinging to a pillow full of beer farts. The flight continues. A little later on, we hear, the captain has turned on the fasten seatbelt sign. Well, who gives a shit who turned it on? What does that have to...
Okay, but we say that because people respond better to a figure of authority. It's psychological.
Well, who gives a shit who turned it on? What does that have to do with anything? It's on, isn't it? And who made this man a captain? might I ask? Did I sleep through some sort of an armed forces swearing-in ceremony or something? Captain, he's a fucking pilot, and let him be happy with that. If those sightseeing announcements he's making are any mark of his intellect, he's lucky to be working at all. Tell the captain, Air Marshal Carlin says, go fuck yourself.
We don't have air marshals.
I hear is full of things that piss me off. Before leaving the aircraft, please check around your immediate seating area for any personal belongings you might have brought on board.
But you know why? Because it's annoying. Because we have to collect them, and if it's at the end of the shift, we have to go to the lost and found and put them there, especially if there is not a dispatcher. Because usually if it's in between flights and then the dispatcher comes on board, we just give it to them, we sign it off, and that's it. But if it's at the end of the day, no dispatcher, you close the aircraft, you leave, you have to take the objects, you have to make a whole statement, what it was, where it was, when you found it, what was the flight, all of that at lost and found, and then leave. Do you think after 12 hours, 10 hours, 8 hours of duty, I care about Susan's wallet? No! I want to go home, but now I don't have to go home. Now I have to go into debt. That's the reason. Oh, and then we hope that you didn't leave something dangerous as well on the aircraft, of course, logically.
For any personal belongings you might have brought on board. Well, let's start with immediate seating area. Seat! It's a goddamn seat. Check around your seat. For any personal belongings. Well, what other kinds of belongings are there besides personal? Public belongings? Do these people honestly think I might be traveling with a fountain I stole from the park?
Some of these announcements
you might
are dumb.
have brought on board. Well, I might have brought my arrowhead collection. I didn't. So I'm not going to look for it. I'm going to look for things I brought on board. Would seem to enhance the likelihood of my finding something, wouldn't you say? They're telling me to return my seat back and tray table to their original upright positions. Fine. Who's going to return this guy in the Grateful Dead t-shirt and the fuck you hat to his original upright position? About this time, they tell you you'll be landing shortly. That sound to you like we're going to miss the runway? Final approach is not very promising either, is it? Final is not a good word to be using on an airplane. Sometimes the pilot
How can we say
we'll be
then?
on the ground in 15 minutes. Well, that's a little vague, isn't it? Now we're taxiing in. She says, welcome to O'Hare International Airport. Well, how can someone who is just arriving herself possibly welcome me to a place she isn't even at yet? Doesn't this violate something in physics? We're only on the ground 4 seconds. She's coming on like the fucking mayor's wife. Well, the local time. Well, of course it's the local time. What did you think we were expecting? The time in Pango Pango? Enjoy your stay in Chicago or wherever your final destination might be.
You're flying maybe somewhere else, connection flight.
All destinations are final. That's what it means. Destiny, final. If you haven't gotten where you're going, you aren't there yet. The captain has asked. More shit from the bogus captain. You know, for someone who's supposed to be flying an airplane, he's taking a mighty big interest in what I'm doing back here. That you remain seated until he has brought the aircraft to a complete stop. Not a partial stop. Because during a partial stop, I partially get up. Please continue to observe the no smoking sign until well inside the terminal. It's physically impossible
No,
to
not
observe
even
the
that.
no smoking sign, even if you're just outside the door of the airplane. Much less well inside the terminal. You can't even see the fucking planes from well inside the terminal.
I mean, he has a point, okay? The announcements are dumb.
Which brings me to terminal. Another unfortunate word to be used in association with air travel. And they use it all over the airport, don't they? Somehow I just can't get hungry at a place called the Terminal Snack Bar. But if you've ever eaten there, you know it is an appropriate name. Thank you.
He's good. He's really good. I like that I think he's able to do a stand-up from everything, honestly. He does speak a lot on how people are taking the English language. Like, I agree, I totally agree. Some of the phrases used in aviation and as well in any other, working environments that they use fancy words are just pompous. They're just fancy for no reason. I mean, again, there is a reason. It just makes people pay more attention, to be fair. And as well, like he was he was throwing jabs at the poor captain. They use it to basically enforce a bit of authority. Just look, the cabin crews have a difficult time. A difficult damn time. And I was reminded of a story. So basically, the pilots in the flight deck can hear us when we're making an announcement as well. They know what the heck is happening. And I remember this one time I was in the back galley, and we were taxiing, and a lot of people were standing because apparently no one can be seated. The moment the aircraft lands, everybody wants to stand and take their bags out. So we were fighting for our lives there, be like, dear passengers, please remain seated. Dear passengers, please remain seated until we reach our final standing point. Dear passengers, please sit, please sit, please sit. At some point, guys, the captain probably got tired of us keep saying, please be seated, please be seated. He hit the brakes so hard. You could see like 2-3 people there on top of the other chairs. Everyone seated after that. Everyone seated after that. Was it the nicest move he could make? No. No one was hurt or anything, but I think they learned the lesson. I have quite a few crazy stories from my flight attendant days. Look, people are really interesting. I'm really sad I did not write anything like a mini novel in regards with the questions or the things that happened during that time, but it was great, and I really enjoyed reacting to this. I think maybe it was even a bit educational for some of you. I know that maybe some of you are afraid of flying, so I'm gonna give you a tip. Do not be. You have a higher chance of getting hit by a car, first of all, statistically speaking, but second, look at your flight attendants. If your cabin crew, stewardess, air hostess, whatever you want to call them, are calm, collected, chit-chatting, enjoy life, minding their own business, you're fine. If you see flight attendants up and down in the cabin, maybe become a little bit concerned then. But other than that, you're fine. Thank you everybody for watching. I really do appreciate it. I hope you had a fun time here. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. And as I mentioned, I do have other stand-up comedians and I do have other videos from George Carlin on the channel. Go search up. Let me know what we should be reacting to next. Have an amazing one and